Oh, sorry, I thought you said Tina.
Yeah, yeah, Tina, would you like to share with us?
Oh, I thought you were asking me how many times I've been here. Been about a handful of times, but I
Oh,
needed this today, especially I had some challenging interactions with some people today, and this was a very good reminder and very timely. Thank you so much.
you're welcome. Okay.
Good evening, Bonte and others. I would just like to say this has been, even though I kind of joined late, it has been very calming to end my day. I had it planned out or how I thought it was going to go, but it didn't go as planned. But I was able to move through the day with grace and pleasure. And so just coming into this, feeling relaxed, learning something new, I'm very appreciative. So thank you.
Yeah, Conscience. And she's with us from last 2 day retreat, and she was with us even at the Columbia meditation. At that time, I knew that she's not from Baltimore, but she's far away from Virginia, right?
Yes, yes. And excited that I've had the opportunity to learn meditation and understanding how I can not only heal myself but help others. So a great appreciation for understanding how to stay in the moment, not allowing the past to kind of dictate our mood and how we have to engage each other. So I'm appreciative. I'm still learning, but I'm living for this.
Thank you, sir. Okay, right. We have Bhante Kusalatis with us. Namo Buddhaya, Bhante.
Oh, hi, so great to see you.
Yes, and you too. And so I'll introduce Bhante Kusalatis for you. So he was in DC monastery where I resident right now, currently, a year and a half ago, right?
Yes, somewhere around that. Yes, true.
Yes, and now he is serving as a chief incumbent in Atlanta Mahayana Meditation Monastery, and kindly accepted our invitation to join with our discussion today. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation. Yeah, and so I'll start with. Yes, I'll start with the first question I would like to ask from Bhante, and then if you would like, please raise up your hand, and then I'll give you the opportunity to ask, and if not, please feel free to put it to the chat. Right. Okay, so Bhante, I thought of asking from you that, so we all know that how it doesn't feel good when we feel jealous. It's like something hurt in our heart when someone achieves something. We all know it's kind of a useless thing, but so when we see someone upper than our stare, so usually people used to feel jealousy. So it's a kind of a natural emotion. But then it leads to so many uh, bad things, and it's really sometimes first it's difficult to understand, and then it even after understanding that, it's really difficult to overcome, because the other side also do something bad, and they try to show off to hurt the us. So there are so many things in life. So I'm talking from the lay people perspective. So what is your advice to overcome from jealousy, and how to understand that?
Yes, Bhante, it's kind of a topic that we get to ask oftentimes by the people and it's been kind of seems like natural as well as like a kind of a maybe a human thing like to be and kind of jealousy mind because it's like because our mind gets more competitive and like then we just wanted to compete and then try to be the best. It's like it's kind of superficially it's like quite normal, quite natural, but in Dhamma perspective, like you did mention, like it's not good because Supreme Buddha says like when you have that like jealous in your mind, so then it's really hard to pursue the Dhamma. You know your progress, especially when we consider about Dhamma path. So it gets kind of stuck. It's kind of slow, sluggish when we have the jealousy mind, and then when we cannot get out of it. So it can be leading to many negative things, especially in the Dhamma perspective. So that's why Supreme Buddha advises us to practice the mudita meditation, appreciative joy to overcome that jealousy because it's something that we have to overcome effortfully. So because you know we get to be jealous at any point for any reason, like when we do the things and the life happens. But when we mindful about the things like phenomena of the mind, we've got to figure out that we have the jealous now, so we've got to address this. And we have to come out of that, and then the tool for that would be the mudita meditation or the appreciative joy, Bhante. So that's what I can share with you since you asked that. I hope that it did make sense to the folks as well.
Yes, and so basically, it's like it's real. As a human, it may be common, but when
Right.
it comes to the practicing the noble path, we shouldn't appreciate what we are having as if it is jealousy.
Yes,
And
right.
so the tool for that that practicing the appreciative joy or the mudita meditation, the same word for the appreciative joy. Yeah, one thing, and of course, that Buddha saying one time, if I can remember correctly, that to overcome from that the laziness or that, I don't know how to say it in English, called arati,
Yeah,
to overcome from that, the
yes.
mudita is the appreciative joy is a meditation, right?
True, Bhakti. So it's true. So it's called the heedlessness. I think the term that used in the text, heedlessness. You don't have the energy, or maybe you are not diligent. You are not like put efforts to pursue the Dhamma path. Then you're kind of sluggish with it. You don't have like feel like you don't have the spirits to practice the Dhamma. So it's called the arati. Arati means like heedlessness. So then, in order to overcome the heedlessness, we have to be heedful. To be heedful, then we can practice the appreciative joy to uplift ourselves, and then because now it starts from yourself. So if we can remind that Bhante, so like may I grow in lifespan, may I grow in power, may I grow in beauty, may I grow in pleasure, may I grow in fame, may I grow in praise, and may I grow in wisdom. So start from you, just like the loving kindness. So all these things that I need, I deserve, I like to have these things in my life. So may I have all these things. May I be uplifted. So then I'm going to be thinking about myself quite honestly, quite centered way, like to myself, to be, the genuine way. And then I'm going to be thinking about the others. So as I wish for myself, may all the beings, just like the same format with the loving kindness. So others also be same thing. So yes, but that's the meditations from the teaches us to overcome the heedlessness.
Yes, and that means that whenever we feel like today is not good for the meditation. Yes, of
Right.
course, I would like to meditate, but I don't feel good.
Right.
So instead of being backward, better to try some appreciative joy and cultivate
Absolutely.
some appreciative joy as meditation, right?
True. That's the way. Yeah, that's the way.
Yes. Yeah. So before we go into another question, I would like our audience, if there are anyone would like to join with the discussion or ask anything, feel free to even put it to the chat. Yeah. Um, so you can use the raise up that emoji, so then I can let you unmute. Oh yeah. You all can unmute now. Sometimes I have to do the adjustments because some strangers comes and sometimes do some bad things in middle of the meeting. So that's why I'm taking care of that also. Okay. And Johan, do you have anything to ask or share?
Manzana, how would I? Actually, not today. I was not like, I'm fine today. So maybe if something came to my mind, so then I'll definitely ask.
Yeah, sure. So, Johan, and of course, when Bhante, when we talk about the meditation called appreciative joy, it's just not like calming ourselves, right? So that means
Right.
there are some, yeah, in meditation, if I can remember, there are 5 steps like Pamoja, Piti, Passaddhi, Sukha, Samadhi. Would that mean that it leads to the overcome from the hindrances and to the joyfulness and the tranquility and happiness and to the concentration, and not only that, that concentration help us to understand the way of the rising and falling of the aggregates, and it's not just calming ourselves, but it contains very deep meaning with the meditation, right?
Yeah, that's true. So because samatha and vipassana, the both can be practiced, and the samatha is well developed, then can turn into vipassana, and then like see the reality, like you did mention, but the 5 aggregates of clinging, how it formed and passing. Yeah, somebody can realize that as well.
Yes. Yeah. Tina, do you want to join with us? Yeah.
And with regard to this meditation, can you? I remember reading something, but I can't remember the specifics of what the Buddha said about ego and the interaction of ego in this whole thing to help me kind of gain that context again, please.
Yeah. Bhante, you can go ahead.
Yeah, ego. Yes, ego comes from the identity view. If you have heard of the identity view or Sakkaya Ditthi, I doubt that you may have heard that, because we have kind of an idea that like we are unique. Of course, we are unique, but we have that like self view, identity view. It's called identity view. So then we think like it combines with the superiority or inferiority or whatever. So then the ego comes from that base, the identity view. So for that, the solution would be like if you're familiar with the impermanence meditation, especially this, it can be the sense-based sense facilities like faculty, impermanence meditation or aggregates of clinging meditation. So impermanence meditation, by doing it repeatedly, mastering it, then you would come to a point where like you would have a kind of an idea that things are way beyond my control, like things are not who I am, not myself. Like then you would come to a realization like this, I'm also conditioned. I'm also just a product of my karma. I'm not so special. I'm just another human being in this planet, and it's kind of, being, we can be humble. I mean, like without being reasoning, kind of. But when we do this, the impermanence meditation, especially reflecting our own sense basis, especially the mind. So you would come to a point like you would, get the idea like things are non-self, right? Anatta. So anatta relates with the other two, like things are impermanent. Because of that, things are stressful or suffering. Because of those factors, like things are non-self, beyond our control, beyond your control. So when you have that idea, so your ego won't go away totally right away, but you would address it, you would handle it quite wisely, like with your vipassana knowledge, insight. So I recommend to practice the impermanence meditation. It gives you a huge amount of sense of the life. So
Okay, thank you. I was kind of combining the two and thinking that they were more interactive. But yes, I have to clear that first, right? So that I can properly go into, oh, thank you so much.
so much welcome, yeah, of course.
Okay. Yes. Are there anyone would like? So at the end, we will share the website of the Bhante. So if you would like, you can follow the meditation programs. And yes, of course, you can then listen to the Bhante's program and the online programs also there, and one-on-one sessions also there. So the website will. Bhante, if you don't mind, at the end, can you share the link with everyone?
Oh, absolutely, Bhante. So let me go real quick to our website and then get it and then share it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, sure. Johan, go ahead, Johan.
So I just wanted to know, like, how do you stay calm when something happen suddenly, any unexpected thing? So what first come to your mind, like, how to control the situation? So how do you handle that kind of a situation in your mind, like?
Am I supposed to answer Bhante or?
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, it's a very good question, I guess, Johan. So it's kind of a common scenario that we all face, right? We get overwhelmed, don't we? When the life happens, we get overwhelmed. So it's quite okay to be getting overwhelmed, but that's why we have to be mindful. I mean, mindfulness again comes first and foremost for everything. Like, because Supreme Buddha says we have to be, atapi sampajano satima. In order to be mindful, we have to be atapi, we have to be effortful, and we have to be sampajano, we have to be resourceful or knowledgeable about Dhamma, and also we have to be satima, watchful, to practice the mindfulness. By doing that thing, by having that practice, like three things, so we can control, we can subdue our abhijja domanas, that means like greed and agitation. So we get overwhelmed, basically, like we swing between those. Abhijja and domanas means like either greed or agitation, the greed or anger. So that's what our mind is all about, like, going back and forth. So we have to be effortful, again, like practice the mindfulness. Effortful, like we have 4 types of efforts. I think you folks know about 4 types of efforts. First of all, like to suppress the already irrational, unwholesome things in the mind. And like that, we have the other 3 as well. So then we have to be effortful, atapi, and sampajana, like I said, the knowledge about Dhamma, resourcefulness, and watchfulness as well. So when we are having that practiced now in daily life, So we can stay quite calm, I guess. But again, like in practical life, the real situation might be different. So we might be not doing the mindfulness. We might be away from we might be lacking the effort or resourcefulness or watchfulness. Then of course we get like overwhelmed, we get agitated. So, but again, we can be reminded, we can come back to track, like we can again be watchful and try to suppress those the unwholesome status. So by doing it repeatedly, and our mind get used to that. So then we can experience such mindful way of life, and then our emotions can be handled by using that mindfulness. So that's what I can share for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
That makes
actually,
sense
that's a
to you.
really yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, and do you want anything to add also?
Yeah, that's pretty much like, like what we expected, like, actually as I said, like, the practical life, like, there are scenarios like which is, we know that, like, it is good practicing it and we keep calm, but there are some certain cases, Bhante, like, we have to tolerate, like, what others are doing, and sometimes, like, it's really painful. So even though, like, you're staying in the calm and quiet, so there are some certain cases, like, it will be really painful. So then that's why I wanted to know, like, I know, like, staying in a patient and practicing the meditation will helps a lot. So even though there's some certain point, like, so then, like, I will disclose the I will leave it out of that place, and, like, give some, like, some free space for me. So then, like, that's what usually I'm doing it. So oh yeah, that's what I wanted to add as well. So,
Yeah. Yes, Johan, and yes, of course, the practicing the mindfulness is not an overnight practice. We all know that it's like back and forth. So yes, of course, and if someone, if there is something that some incidents like that, first, what we have to understand the way our thought pattern, right or wrong. So am I agitated? So is it good for me or bad? So once we understand, then and that's where the mindfulness improves, and that's where the mindfulness arises. So since that mindfulness rising, we feel it's like a problem. So you have to be happy about yourself, because you know that this agitation and these things are not good, but there are so many people, they used to think that is the way I'm thinking, right? The way I used to be act like this. I used to be agitated like this. I used to be, and I have to be more than used to be. I have to react like this. If not, the other don't understand who am I. So that sort of mindset of most of the people have. But when we practice mindfulness, of course, then we can control our mind, and with that, it gives kind of a good benefit to ourselves, like to understand ourselves and to control ourselves little by little. And that doesn't sounds like you are like you are like thinking so negative, and so you let others to feel superior, and you are like inferior. It's not like that. No superior or no inferior. Understanding what you have to do and doing it without making yourself angry, without making yourself taking it as a revenge. As an example, if someone steals from you, yes, of course, you have to let go the anger, but that doesn't sound that you have to make a call and say the police, and that doesn't sound that you don't want to call and ask for the insurance claim. So you have to do the things without being angry. So that's how you have to work in your life. Yes, of course, you have to do, but we have to be mindful that whether I feel pain or whether I feel hurt or whether I'm still feel healed. So being healed and living is the best way to move forward with our life. And as we discussed in the earlier, it's not an overnight or one day thing. And I'll bring one example for this. If you can remember when we were kids, we had so many problems. We felt like those are the biggest problems in the world. Like when we forget to do the homework, and when teacher is asking, "Okay, children, bring your homeworks," we feel like, "Oh, this is the end of the world." But and now, when your children say like, "Oh, I didn't do the homework, so therefore I can't go the whole school today," then you said it's like, "Oh, it's nothing. Teacher doesn't say anything, so it's a simple punishment." And it's sometimes teacher also may get forget about that. We say like that. As an adult, we feel that the problem, it was a so huge problem when we were kids, but now we feel nothing. In the same way, when our mindfulness improves, when we understand the Four Noble Truths, it's just nothing. It's you feel something, but it's not something to hurt you or put you completely down. You understand that it's a part of life. It's not a suffering, but it's just an incident. So you can turn whole suffering to just incidents once we improve our mindfulness. Yes, and we have a question, Bhante. When you are very distracted, what is the most effective meditation on one can practice?
Yeah, so I would say loving kindness is the as it as one of the 11 benefits. Like your mind gets to the concentration real quick. So that if you are kind of familiar with, if you are used to do the loving kindness most, that's what you can practice. Maybe not the fullest one, but at least the short version of it. Try to be calm yourself. May all the beings be well and happy, have happy minds, be well and happy, have happy minds. Like when you do that repeatedly, at some point your mind gets grounded, and then it can be really helpful to restore your peace. I mean, not the best way of it, but you can mitigate it. So try to minimize the damage. So the loving kindness, Bhante, that's what I get right now in my mind. But yes, the loving kindness, maybe the short version, because sometimes
Yes,
it might be not the time for you to do the whole thing, but if you can do the last two, lines, if as our teachers always say, Supateva, Supateva, you do that all
yes,
the time.
may all beings
So
be happy.
be happy and
Yeah.
well. There's a short version of it. I get to teach that thing in my sessions. You know what the shortest version of it means? All the beings be well and happy. Think it, just one line. So try to do that. So try to, your mind gets kind of calm down. And then you can, that's why Supreme
Yeah.
always says, try to do the meditation when you're in the best shape,
Yeah.
when you're in a good shape. So then you can make it in use whenever you are
Yes,
needed.
and
Right, so I hope that
and
that
yes,
would answer
there
you.
is a reply for the same question. Yeah, thank you. In these sessions, loving kindness meditation has worked for me
Oh, wow.
the best too. So that means she's saying that she also felt that it is a very good meditation for her.
Because one of the benefits, like your concentration, is kind of recommended. You would restore your concentration.
Yes. Yeah, Chandrika Barwa, you can ask a question.
I just have a question just in general, is there a concept of forgiveness in Buddhism, just in general? Thank you.
Is it forgiveness, Bhante? She was asking.
Yeah, forgiveness, is there any?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't really recall kind of as a concept, but that's what all about, right? So then we don't hold grudges, we don't hold anything like tit for tats, no retrogressions. Like you don't do like retaliations or something like that. You just try to settle the things, but in a peaceful way, so we don't hold the grudges. So it's all about like forgiving is kind of a basic thing in Dhamma. Like, Bhante, do you recall anything like in relation with that forgiveness?
Yes. Yeah, so Bhante, if you can remember that verse that the Buddha saying that when other person is angry, when there is some situation like that, and at that time one who let go is the one who do the best for the both parties. So like instead of holding the anger, like this person hit me, this person hurt me, this person.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh yes, yes. So that's the answer. Yeah, but yeah, I agree with that. Yes, yeah. Nahi Virani, that's the Gatha.
Yeah. Nahi verena verana samma.
Yes. So
Yes.
especially think of if you think of the karma, it's somebody's karma, somebody's business that doing wrong things to you, but we are not supposed to react the same way because we are kind of responsible to ourselves and to the others. So then we can be thoughtful that way and try to stop, or try to just forgive for their wrongdoings. So in the best way of doing it.
Yeah, so the Nahi verena verani, the interpretation of that is like never hatred ends with the hatred.
Hatred.
So,
Exactly.
yes, hatred ends with the
Hatred.
yeah, and hatred. So Buddha saying it's like eternal truth, right?
Eternal, yes. Some month is
Yeah.
yes, month yes. So I hope
So,
she would satisfy with the answer.
do you have any follow-up questions? Now, yeah. You can unmute you in case if you are, we don't hear you, but we see your raise. Okay. I'm sorry, I couldn't find from the name, but there is a message from Su N. Since the 2-day retreat, I have found myself meditating more and more and bring me joy and gratitude. Yeah, thank you for sharing the message. I can remember from the name, but yeah, we rejoice what you have done the 2-day retreat, and happy to see you all coming as a group. And there were, I think, a couple of maybe 5 participants in the Columbia program also. Good to see you again with us. And yes, of course. And yeah, it's already 9:40, and we have taken 5 minutes from your precious time in the evening. You may have to prepare or have your dinner and go to bed. So it's time to share the merits and the blessings with all of you. Let's say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Yeah, and Bhante, are the retreats on the first and the third Saturday on the 1-day retreat, not overnight ones. 1-day retreats usually we have first Saturday and the third Saturday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Okay. Today we practiced appreciative joy meditation, and we learned and we discussed Buddha's teaching, and we all joined with a wonderful meditation session today this evening. And Bhante Kusalathis participated with to the program and shared his valuable knowledge on Buddha's teachings. So first, let's share all the blessings we accumulated today with our teacher. We call Pinapaka Swaminathan, and with our Bhante Kusalatis, and with all the meditators who gathered today as a community to practice, improve your meditation. May you all be well, may you all be happy, may you all may your all good wishes come true, and may you all able to attain the supreme bliss of happiness in your life. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And yeah, we'll again meet next Thursday at 8 p.m. usual time. Yeah, there will be another invited guest monk with us for the discussions. I can't. I am. Yeah, we will. I'll let you know in the email what we are going to talk and what's the meditation we are going to do in next week. You all will come.